Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday special, y'all. What's up? What's that little patch on my beard? All right, let's talk about that later. K-Save in the house. Good morning, sir. So excited to be seeing K-Save in a few short days. Yes, I miss that beast. Big, beautiful man. Savvy, good morning. How are you? Happy update day. That's right. Good morning. Good morning. What is going on, everybody? Savvy, I'm bummed. I heard the news that you won't make it to national, so that's a bummer. Sorry to hear that. That you couldn't get that something happened. So hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully, I mean, you guys are prepping for your move, right? So hopefully everything's okay. So yeah. Sad face indeed. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Jason. How are you doing today? What's going on, little buddy? Oh, sorry, guys. He's in the background. What's up? Got my VFAM Sessions shirt on today. Repping my buddy Rob. Even though I'm kind of, you know, a little anti-messer right now, because those two pulled the plug on national as well. And Rob's sole focus is his little card league, which, as you all know, I find incredibly boring. Even the championship, I could barely watch. But I digress. Today is Saturday. Don't usually do this Saturday. I felt like, I'm at my upstairs computer. Right. I should open that window back there. What's up, dude? Plays his own theme song, folks.
Come on, who needs a little bit of Thundercats this morning?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That was never a show of mine, buddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I maybe watched a couple, but that was never one that I got into, or that was really on my radar. Anyone else? Anyone else in the chat?
Thundercats fans, anybody? Please make me feel good about myself.
I just dropped the audience because I started talking smack about Rob and Chels Messer. So, they just all rage quit on me. Nope, not K-Save. Sorry. Never got into it, MP.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Wow. I was at like a sleepy 7. Now I'm at like a sleepy 5.
Punch to the gut. Punch to the gut, y'all.
Just feeling old, just sitting here listening to old classics on the classical music station, the Thundercats theme. Oh, well, next time.
Anyways, like I was saying, Saturday, don't normally do this, but happy Saturday. My family is still out in Tahoe. I believe they are driving back today. And there's literally a pen right in front of me. I was like searching everywhere to find a pen, and there was one right in front of me. It was just like oddly decorated with rainbow looms.
Yeah.
Because I'm not normally at this desk up here in the loft. So yeah, they're not here. I can make as much noise in the inside of the house. I don't have to be in the garage. So yeah, we're here, man.
Yeah,
What's going
good,
on,
good,
dude?
good change of backgrounds. Right at this particular moment, no, nothing. I woke up 5 minutes ago. Uh, Not a whole lot of energy. Not totally driven dragon today,
All
but
right.
I'm still gonna go to the gym for a little bit
Oh yeah.
because it just wakes me up and I feel a lot better.
And it's a really good habit.
And it's a good habit. Um, I saw Ryan's Habit 24 post this morning. That got me going a bit. I was like, if Ryan's doing it and he can find the time to videotape and cap cut it, I have the time to do 1,000 sit-ups to get some abs. So um, I will be doing that after this.
Yeah.
Savvy's in. Savvy feels the Thundercats theme.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like I said, I know it. And I have a vague understanding of the show. It was just, yeah. 1,000 sit-ups sounds horrible. Hey, looky here. Another Turner in the house. What's up, Mr. Turner? And I think we got Dylan lurking, but Dylan, are you really driving today? Did you get Saturdays off, man? What does this guy do? Um,
Dylan is in the background. Dylan's here. Oh, look, we got Turner. We got the word Turner. I'm just going to complete this.
well, I should get one in first just to mess with you.
Yes. Cool. We got three Turner screenshotting that.
We are being overtaken by the Turners, y'all.
There we go. Screenshot.
Right on, man. Any plans? Any plans this Saturday?
No, but I should because this is like my last Goonie weekend to reference another 80s classic. Hopefully you guys don't shit on that too.
I've never heard of that movie. What is that one?
Just some kids running around Oregon.
Gotcha.
In trouble. Yeah, Mighty Max. That was I remember Mighty Max.
Oops.
Double click.
Was that Mighty Max? Was that the mouse? No, it's Mighty Mouse.
No, Mighty Max was based on I think like the super tiny toys. There's Micro Machines. We all remember Micro Machines, and then a bunch of like microscopic toys, very similar to like the things that are out today that come in really elaborate packaging. Unless Ryan disagrees and I'm totally ruining his childhood memory.
I don't know what's going on. He said, no, you're wrong. I'm angry. Don't stop. Go any further. So I don't think you got it right, but it's okay. Just send him a box of ketchup and all will be well.
Oh yeah, that's what I woke up to. I woke up to and I spent my 20 minutes of
my morning blush
time trying to figure out here's what I don't get about Twitter yet, which is also making me feel old, is I get confused on how to follow conversations. Like I was tagged in was it Kelso's post about a ketchup sandwich. Not totally against ketchup sandwiches. Kind of looks like a tomato Uncrustable. But then there was like this entire conversation, and I didn't know where to jump in because I wanted to contribute because I felt included, but I didn't know how to do it because I'm old.
All right, why don't you cap up a video of teach Jason how to follow a Twitter thread? Yeah, That was our friend Corso. He's part of the V Friends team. He was home and I guess eating a ketchup sandwich, and Mr. Turner took real offense to it and started his. I don't know if Ryan, I don't know if you started your villain arc or if Corso started his. I kind of feel like you started yours because you went pretty heavy. Ryan dropped a little backstory of something when he was 8 or 10 years old. Yeah, it was something else.
Which
I don't know what a ketchup sandwich really is. Butter sandwich, that's my jam.
oh yeah, that
A
was
butter tortilla. You put a tortilla on the stove, melt some butter on it, roll it up like a butter taquito. That's a jam right there. But ketchup sandwich, no. I would
well,
only eat a ketchup sandwich if I was sitting next to Ryan Turner. Let's put it that way. Just out of love. I would
and
take the bullet for you, dude.
and spite. Ryan should jump on and explain.
And
I,
straight comedy.
I would love for Ryan to jump on and explain his hear this story of his childhood story of his uh, in person. Um,
Yeah.
butter sandwiches, buttered rolls, northern New Jersey, landscaping, summer of 1999. That was like the only food that the boss would feed us midday
Mhm.
in the heat. So, I mean, I'd still eat them. Just brings up not the best memories.
Sprinkle some cinnamon on it. All right.
To answer your question, we're gonna do some biking. I think we're gonna get on a bike. We do have a birthday party. This is the most middle-aged thing I'm saying this week. I was up late last night making flan,
Flan. But
flan.
yeah, that's all right. How'd it go?
The flan part went well. I cannot make caramel. I tried it 3 times
Hmm.
and then gave up. That is hard. Have you ever tried making caramel?
No.
You just boil sugar and water, and I thought it was super straightforward, but it's like you have to do it in a way that you don't crystallize the the sugar, and like it goes from like a boiling what seems to look good to like this crystalline matrix in like 10 seconds. So interested, but ran out of patience last night.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
have that slight distraction going on that only Savvy will understand. Savvy, there are crystals in my lobby. What the hell? I've never seen this before. But anyways, so biking and making is the flan for the party?
The flan's for the party. Yep.
Okay,
This is an adult party that we're going to. I did go to our
nice.
last pool party of the summer yesterday, which was fun. I had a really great dad conversation with two dads, which was
Okay.
good. Kind of like that dad conversation topic put into practice. Um, I know them, so it's not like I was breaking any boundaries, but it was it wasn't just like joking around. It was like serious.
What was your guys' topic or the main topic?
So the main topic was actually around. I told you guys a few early in the summer that I went to the doctor, got prescribed a an Adderall prescription
Hmm.
after a lot of research, and this dad, who I did not know was on that, has been on it for a while, and he was talking about like how there's like that initial like few week bump, and then he found he was kind of getting, it seems like everybody reacts differently to it,
Yeah.
but like he found that like he was kind of getting not whatever like the addiction looks like. I'm not sure. It's not like abusing it, but it was like it wasn't helping anymore. So he was
Oh,
like
okay.
sharing his cycle and what it does for him. So, and then like what that whole diagnosis did, like it's largely a net positive with some management of how we take it. So it was kind of a learning opportunity for me too.
Have you been taking it still? Like
Yeah,
irregularly or regularly?
Yeah, regularly.
Okay.
Most days it does help. Kind of
Okay.
cuts out the noise. Definitely kind of keeps me locked in with like house and parenting and husbandry stuff for sure, and taking care of stuff. So just like it's just like a it's like a focus enhancer that I found some value in.
Nice.
Your results and opinion may vary, but yeah, I think just adult brain fog is a real thing, and a lot of
Yeah.
people deal with it in different ways.
Gotcha. Where'd my chat go? What's everybody up to this weekend? I'm not gonna drive down to San Diego Comic Con. I don't know if I was tricked or if I was just didn't dig deep enough to find more information, but I thought that this was gonna be the only version of that comic. But after I did some digging, I was told that this is just a special cover, and I don't care about that. So I will not drive 4 hours. The meeting people would be nice, but yeah, that's just not gonna that's not my jam today. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna organize and set up the house a little bit. Um, Wait for the family to come home. But yeah, that's my Saturday.
My
Do,
one my one fail of the summer was not setting up the garden beds with adequate fencing for the dogs.
uh,
So I got to cover that till next year, because the
what are you
dog,
guys gardening in there?
peppers, cilantro, cherry tomatoes, the small
Okay,
things,
yeah.
seasonings.
So the dogs get into it.
Yeah. So and now they're running around.
Little turds.
Too dirty. Nothing's on the carpet yet, so I'm good. I'm clear. Um, Tell me about this comic. Ryan shared.
So
Uh,
V Friends has been releasing comics every month, and for
yeah.
the most part, they do them on Whatnot, and it's a flash, not a flash sale, but it's a sale. Maybe they do one day, or I think one time they did 2 different days. The first two, the first two that they've sold on Whatnot have been limited to 3,000, so they've gone pretty quick. But still, for the most part, pretty easy to get in there and get them. Um, this then all of a sudden they posted we're in Comic Con, and there's a limited Comic Con exclusive comic of number 4, and they showed a cover. It was pretty badass. It was like the origin of the Harpic, which the Harpic is one of the creatures that Gary himself created and drew. So that's obviously one that like a lot of us want. And so I was under the impression that they were going to do something weird. Like this is the origin of the Harpic. It's the one and only creature that Gary created. So we're just going to make 309 of them and just release them at Comic Con that we told no one we were going to be at. And I was like, yeah, V Friends would might do something like that. They do weird shit. Um, and then that way it'd be limited, super rare, all that stuff. I wasn't thinking straight. I was like, Comic Con's right down the street. Um, and then I realized it was just an exclusive cover, and that they were gonna do a show, later on like they normally do, and sell the comic with regular covers, whatever that means.
So as
So I'll
someone
still
who
get
is
it. My goal is just to get one of each issue, especially these first like 10 or so, you know. And I don't care about variant covers or special stuff. Like not a big thing to me.
as someone who doesn't necessarily follow the cards in comics, it has the has the notoriety of the cards moved to the comics. Is that kind of how this whole thing's
The
developing?
notoriety of the cards moved into the comics. Um, I think they're just going in a couple of different directions to try to bring as many people in as they can. So with the cards, they're bringing in the card culture and the TCG culture. Right now, they're doing the Topps Chrome, so those are the nice, like fancier. cards, so they're getting the upper level card collectors in on that, and then once they get them in there and they see that product, then their hope is that they start reading the comments or the comics, and they start clicking into like the actual, storylines and the lore of what they're building. Because I mean, they're just on comic number 4, but they have all these like little daily comics, these little short 4-panel ones that they've been doing for a while now. But yeah, they're kind of everywhere.
Gotcha.
It's still
Um,
super early in the storyline, so
yeah, I saw Ryan posted a humorous take on one of the comics where I think he successfully started the conspiracy that a comic is loosely based on him, on his knowing gnome
for
character.
sure. It's
Uh,
definitely Ryan. I mean, next week, the Knowing Gnome hates ketchup. I mean,
oh, that'd be great.
or he
I
accidentally
would buy a comic knowing nothing about the comics.
he
Just
accidentally takes he
yeah,
accidentally like the wind blows his shirt up and he's just ripped and jacked.
like 34 abs.
Dude's just doing push-ups in the background of the next comic. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
If it starts referencing 24 multiple times, then it's probably Ryan for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of that, I thought we were gonna punch right into the reading on this one, but we did it. We went all the way to 52.
well, let's break because I'm actually just reading the page today. I think this goes along with habits and what we do on Saturdays with
Mm,
kids. About what are the things that you're making your kids do, and maybe even what habits do your kids have, um, which is something that that's kind of been at the forefront of my thoughts in the summer for sure. We talked about screen time, talked about like waking up, getting chores done. We talk about all those things, um, and what we make our kids do, probably with the end goal, usually of having them start their own habits or routine or whatever. Um, I would say sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss in this household. I would say currently my middle kid, Junie, 10 years old, has her morning routine down pretty well.
wow.
So
Nice.
I hear her up first. She does her chores, feeds the dogs, and then she jumps on her screen. And we give them 2 hours a day for screen time, except for Sundays. And like she sets her own timer because I've told them like, hey, why don't you spread this out during the day so you don't all spend it at once?
Yeah.
And it's like she'll give herself 1 hour in the morning, and then she saves her next hour for like after lunch. So
Good job, man.
Junie, well done. If you're listening upstairs, probably not because you're on Roblox, but well done. What do you think about that or anybody in the chat? Habits
I just,
hitting.
my
What are
kids are exactly the opposite. Their greatest habit right now is staying up late and sleeping in. As far as anything else, they're nope, no chores. They will play Roblox and watch YouTube until they get real snippy and hangry. And I'm like, have you guys eaten breakfast yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, it's 11. What are you talking about? Like, I'm almost on my second meal of the day. You're 17 and 12. So yeah, they're letting loose this summer, and we do that a lot. I think it's a lot to do with our routine during the school year is so go go go. Um, you know, especially my wife, 3 kids in 3 schools. Bailey's the 0 period, so it's like out the door before 7 o'clock is a lot. Um, and the schools aren't close, but with school traffic and everything. So I think we just let our hair down during the summer and just let it be what it is. Um, But yeah, we've never really been able to get them on a chore schedule. Our dog is pretty low maintenance. It's a super easy process, so they kind of rotate who's going to do it. In the house, there's never been a set person. I think lately it's been Brooklyn, so she's been getting pretty good at that. I think I would say Brooklyn's probably maybe the best in the routine is like she's been, especially during the school year, she gets herself up real early, takes a shower, spends a lot of time, getting her hair to eat. Um, and then she's downstairs hanging out and she'll, when I'm gone, she'll text me in the morning, that kind of stuff. I like to think of habit isn't the action. It's the self-talk and mindset before the action. Yeah, I think I read somewhere about, also like reducing as much friction as you can for the habit. Like, I like this idea of like, setting out your gym clothes or putting them, at the door or, putting out your gym shoes the night before if you're going to go, if your plan is to go in the morning. So it's just like there's a thing in your mind that says, I'm either gonna put these shoes on or I'm gonna step over them and ignore them. But I definitely am. I'm on board of the habits. I'm trying to lead by example. I'm trying not to, push or annoy or like, tell my kids to this is what they should be doing. I'm just more so I'm setting my own habit schedule. I'm sticking to it, and I want them to notice me doing it and notice some results. It's a little harder at the fact that my habits are all um, 2 hours before they even wake up. So, so it's like out of sight, out of mind. They don't even see me doing this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point, Ryan. It's like the mornings, if the mornings are like full of resistances, right? I read a really great book on it's called The Art of War. No, sorry, War of Art, by
Hmm.
Stephen Pressfield. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it's another like one page a dayer where it talks about all the resistances that we kind of are surrounded by. And yeah, the morning resistances, it's like as soon as you wake up, it's like every minute that you lay there and like are
Yeah.
fighting that desire to do whatever it is you do. It's like the resistances just build up. Like first it's tired, and then you start thinking about your day. Then you start thinking about, or I start thinking about, okay, if I leave, like if I get up now, I can do this and I have this much time. If I wait even 5 minutes, okay, then now I have to like get the dogs out, and that's going to be another half an hour. So it's like, yeah, like the simple things, laying the clothes out, I'm a big fan of that. Like getting, like mixing my pre-workout, so that's ready on my sink in the bathroom.
Mm,
That
yeah.
helps. So
Get
I'm not,
that cocaine rolling in your system.
yeah, all the chemicals. Like all those little things just kind of build up. I think that's what we call habit stacking, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I, my habit is like I'll put my phone in the bathroom, so I have to get up and get the alarm off instead of rolling over and smacking it 10 times.
How does your wife feel about that, though?
Well, when I leave my phone on like the table next to my bed, I'll hit it 10, 15, 20 times. So she's right up there with me starting at 4:30 during the week, just waking up
Gotcha.
every 9 minutes, just getting,
Okay.
15 9-minute naps before the day starts. Uh, which is, I'm sure, frustrating and annoying.
Yeah, mine's different schedules, so that's the thing. I just had to train my brain to wake up without an alarm or before the alarm so that my alarm wouldn't wake up my wife.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she's definitely the late night girl and I'm the early morning guy. So our schedules feel completely reversed right now. And we were talking about that, her and I, last weekend because she did something where she woke up. Oh, it was the day they were leaving for Tahoe. Like she knew she was going to be on a 7-hour drive. So she got up early and she went to the gym and she had texted me that. And I was like, are you becoming a morning person? I'm so excited. And she's like, no, I fucking hate this. This is the worst. I'm never doing this again. And then I swear when she was in Tahoe, she put a post on social that said a beautiful sunrise. And I'm like, you watched a sunrise? You're becoming a morning person. And she's like, no, it was a sunset. You read that wrong. And I was like, damn it. I'm so close.
The sunset's just a reverse sunrise. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Um,
I've made this a case many times. I'm like, sunrises are 100 times better than sunsets because they are way more rare. And everybody's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, because not as many people see them. Everybody sees a sunset. No one sees a sunrise. Come on.
yeah, beat the sun. That was like beating the sun. That was like one of like the first like morning habit mantras I read somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of
Yeah.
took that to heart. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'm just gonna pop a Brian's thing here. So here's the thing that does motivate me a lot is it's like the days when you sleep in or you end up hitting the snooze. It's like I don't like how I feel when I don't get up early and do these things, even though it's hard.
Yeah.
It's like it just makes the rest of the day just a little bit less palatable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's the negatory effect that is usually a driver. It's like if I don't do this, I'm not going to be at my best, rather than whatever positive self-talk it
Yeah,
may.
I definitely like how Ryan framed it in that. Like I don't think of it that way, but that's because I've never really had a good awareness of the things that are going on in my body and mind. Um, and I'm learning that definitely. So I can see the difference. In fact, like that was a lot of what me and my office friend Scott were talking about this just the other day about the difference we're seeing in our energy and our lives and our toleration and stuff like that with things ever since we've been on this tear of like ripping beers at the office and eating pizza all the time, pizza and McDonald's and stuff like that. So yeah, it's it's a learning thing.
I would love to hear. This is a topic I would love to hear other point of views on for sure. But
Who's coming up? I
like,
got all the time in the world, people. Just jump up.
yeah, it's Saturday, folks. Thundercats is over. Yeah,
Oh man, I had that. I've had that thought earlier. Was like, we could just rock this one for forever, man.
yeah.
Um,
What's
what's up, Dash?
what is a I'm trying to think of some good generative questions here for today because I like this topic a lot.
Of
Uh,
habits.
yeah. Um, what's a habit that like
We
uh
lost our audience.
oh, we're at 29. We are almost at 30 today, which is great. Way
Where
to go.
is everybody? Everybody's on my X profile. It says 11 people watching on my X profile. That can't be true. You guys come over here to Twitch and talk to me.
Yeah.
To prove to me that you are real humans and not bots. Um, I would love to have some of this conversation.
Yeah. What's a habit that maybe you've been intending to do but just can't get around it? I'm thinking like I'm thinking more of like mid to late day habits. Because it's like my mornings I'm
Mm,
pumped up in the
yeah.
morning, and let's move it to the kids, I guess, because that's the big challenge here is getting our kids on board. Um, so like Junie's got her morning habits. Kira's 12. I'm trying to, without being annoying about it, instill some kind of habit making. And like she's not sleeping in, she's at the end of her tech jail week today. So I am
Okay.
interested to see how
How she
that
bounces back.
bounces back into it. Um, like I'm here's where I feel like I'm failing is like uh I said a few weeks ago that with my Aberton Ryan routine here, that since I'm doing it mostly because it's Kira's idea, I told her that one day a week she has to join me, and she had last week was kind of like her week, her feeling not so good week, if you catch my drift. So we kind of skipped that. So like my hope is that like after a few of these cycles, it's like she'll start saying, okay, how about dad Saturday? Let's go for a bike ride, or I want to go to the gym and like do some things and learn some things. That's my hope, without me
Okay.
being annoying and overbearing about it, and trying to make them in my vision instead of having them kind of develop these habits by themselves. And then my 6-year-old, her habit is pools and bikes, which I think is a success. Self-care skincare routine. That's a good one. Yeah, taking care of skin. Kristen's on top of that.
Yeah, I think my girls do a little bit of that. Um, a little bit of that nighttime routine. We have some nighttime showers. We have some morning showers, so it's kind of a little off, like a little different. One thing I did want to try to get back in with the kids is, I think I had sent you guys some messages or whatever of like the last day the kids were here. I was running behind on my workout. Like I like today might be an example. Like I don't know that I'll go downstairs right now and hit the gym. I might, um, but I did a couple of evening gym runs, and the last day Amy was out there doing it, so I went out and started working out with her, and then Brooklyn came in, and Bentley came in, and it was me and the two kids at the end of it doing a workout, and they were following me, and they were taking turns really well, and they were sharing weights really well, and I taught them, that after every exercise, if you're done with the weight, you got to put it back, because at first they were just kind of like, you would look and there'd just be all these weights all over the place. I'm like, no, 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 we got to learn proper gym care. Even if it's a small home gym, you still got to, put some respect on it. So that was just very fun, and I definitely want to try to figure out a way to continue that and make that like a evening habit, even if I've already worked out in the morning, just to kind of go in there with them and maybe help them get a workout in. Sounds like a cool idea. I might try.
Yeah, even if it's just going in, like especially for any kind of like fit, like some. So this is one way that I've resolved like those hard mornings, especially during the school year, is even if I just show up for like 10 minutes and just stretch, like, yeah,
Yep.
workout's not good, but it's like the habit of showing up to a place and being in that space is still there. Or like you try out some like, some weird Instagram movement that you see, like just
Yeah.
something that fuels the habit of showing up. Even
Yep.
if you just show up, you're still nailing that habit.
Yeah. That's why I'm liking Ryan's latest thing, where he definitely started it, or there's a version of it where it could be simple and easy for me to start. So that's what I'm running right now, is just his habit 24, just picking a couple exercises and just doing, 24 reps of them. I started with one set, so I'd go through three or four at a bare minimum, like on the days where I couldn't get in the gym, or it was just a busy Sunday, or maybe I was exhausted from doing it 6 days in a row. I would just do 24 push-ups that day, and that was it. And then after, so long doing that, I stepped it up, both in weight and in sets, and added a second set. And yeah, maybe one day I'll get to 3 sets and 4 sets. It's just a lot of times I don't have the time, or it's to sneak it in the morning after this show and before work. And yeah.
One thing that I've tried in the past but failed is like an entire day routine. like setting a timer for every hour and doing like like 20 of anything. Like I hate pull-ups. I suck at pull-ups. I I I don't enjoy them at all. But
Okay.
like I have once upon a time, I was very motivated, and I have the
Mm,
bar right here, and it's pretty
for your
solid.
hangers.
Um,
It looks pretty
do I
solid.
do I ever touch it? No, but it's there. But it's like, what if just every hour I set a timer, do 20 pull-ups? I'll probably get better at pull-ups, even though I hate them, and
Yeah.
maybe even start enjoying them. Um, but that's something that's always kind of been on my fifth row back burner, is trying that.
Yeah. Pull-up challenge. I hate them too. So it must have been like a Turner family thing.
Yeah. On a bigger scale, something that I'm trying to go into this year with is having a more developed weekly schedule, which I've historically been bad at scheduling. Just kind of reacting to what shows up. We have underdeveloped lats through the generation. Not with us, Ryan. This stops with us. Um, but is having a schedule that we know what's going on exactly, even if it's something that happens weekly. Like, how many times have your kids had practices, but it's like it's really out of mind until that practice starts, or like an hour before?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like uh, can I
Like,
match my in the morning? Can I match my energy to go along with whatever we have scheduled that day, or even that entire week? You know, um, and then that kind of pushes into like this. I'm trying to get better at like financial planning. So it's like I want to jump from like monthly planning to 6 months, hopefully even a year. I know
ooh,
that's something that I probably should have done in my 30s, but that's something that I've definitely been behind on. So like that's something that I'm trying to get better at as well.
that's definitely hard. It's hard to it feels so hard to do something like that, you know? Like I think for us, a lot of it is, even when we just try to plan trips far out, it's like we don't know the football schedule and therefore Bailey's cheer schedule, or we don't know her swim schedule far enough in advance to like be able to say, oh, we're gonna go here. And then, sure enough, like what happened, like with Hawaii, we planned it and that's like the first football game of the year. So she's like, I'm not missing that. So it's like, okay, well, then you're flying alone to Hawaii. We'll all be there. You can come 2 days late. Let us try to see if your grandparents will come watch you.
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
so,
one thing about that far in advance vacation planning, which the thought that I do enjoy is like in the past, our summers have largely been like feels like forever. It doesn't really necessarily feel like the time is dwindling until like the last 2 weeks, but most of the weekends have been like birthday parties and kind of like last minute get-togethers with like other families,
mhm.
like things that you don't plan on, and they're always fun, but it's like I think we did a good job this summer of like intentionally setting up some events where it's like it's just us. This is our family time, and everything else will fall around it. Instead of the opposite of like, oh, we got this part of this weekend. I guess we'll move this family idea uh, to like another weekend. You know, like I always kind of feel like
Yeah. Yep.
that always kind of makes me feel like I failed at planning whenever um, something like that comes up. And
Wonder-
it seems like you guys are good at that because you guys have
Well,
those.
again, that's all my wife. That's this has nothing to do with me whatsoever.
Yeah,
And our friend group, they're very similar. Just the other couple that we hang out with the most, They definitely like to plan stuff. They are, so I have two, like, so our friends here and then my friend Scott, they're both, very tech restrictive families. So they like both of them have told me that, like, the difference between my family and theirs is like they feel as parents they need to plan a lot more to like keep their kids active and engaged, uh without the like, oh, they're just going to be on technology. So like I said, my kids will wake up whenever, they'll hang out and just like kind of tech it up for the day, and that might be a day. Whereas they feel, if they're not letting their kids have tech, or if they're just doing a couple hours a day, they gotta, like, plan a park day, or plan a this or plan a that. And there's a little bit more planning, a little bit more activities that have to be involved in the day. And I I can see the pros of that. And then from my side, there's the cons of that, because it's just, I think you guys know, like, my brain gets so exhausted during the week from work. And I was having this conversation with my clients. I was having a meeting yesterday and I was like, my wife's a stay-at-home mom. She's always dealing with the kids and all this planning and all these like things that go down. And, I've tried to explain to her in a way that, wasn't demeaning in any way, but that my job is basically like I'm a glorified babysitter. Like, I have 20 children. When I work all day, it's just they're not showing up. They're doing things wrong. They're leaving a mess. Like, I have to like correct them. I have to keep them busy, or they like go off and do something else, and I lose their focus. Like, I have to tell them, I have to tell professional painters how to paint, and I'm not a painter. So it's exhausting. And so both me and my wife, like, we're exhausted from the week of watching these kids and whatever it is. And come the weekend, sometimes we just like to crank up the Wi-Fi and just hit the devices.
I'm
Should we add another Turner to the stage?
let's do it. Hopefully it's Dylan. Aw.
That was fucked up. What's up, Ryan?
Good morning. You guys are doing the extended version today, so when I had a minute, I figured I'd
let's
just
do
say hi. What's
let's do
happening?
what's up, man? How are you doing? How's your weekend going?
Just started. It's my mother-in-law's birthday, so we're gonna do pool day over there at their house and celebrate.
Nice.
So I'll be getting around. It'll be good.
Good stuff.
I think the Jason was mentioning something that had me thinking about. Jason, remind me what you were saying about like the planning aspect, like with the kids and kind of keeping them busy, all that kind of stuff. I there's like I don't know about any other parents here, but I have the extreme guilt that like I'm not planning enough to do with them. Sometimes, like as an example, uh, Sloan has a really good friend who lives like downstairs from us. And so like Lauren will like pop in the room as I'm like doing something like, hey, Sloan's going on a family walk with the neighbors. I'm like, why aren't we going on a family walk? Like, what's going? Like, why is she joining? And then, like, the more that happens, I'm like, all right, something's broken. Like, for us not to be doing that, now I feel guilty and it's not happening. So it's like, it's like those little moments of like taking advantage of them that I want to be better at. But then sometimes I'm like, but am I asking myself to do more than I need? And then it's just like this like big money mess of like, what are we doing? So that is goal and I've been working towards it and it's been really good, but it feels this point like it's not enough. You know what I mean? You guys resonate with that?
Yes, I do. So you're talking about like having plans for your kids so they can fall into it instead of trying to yank them out of the hummus of the daily wake up normal routine of not doing much. Is that kind of what you're referencing? If I worded that weirdly, but maybe correctly.
I love, I love that you just said get them out of the hummus. That makes so much sense
Yeah.
because it's like hummus isn't bad. It's just like we don't want to be
It's not
stuck.
bad, but it's sticky, you know? So like here's a thought that I have. Like the past few weeks, like I feel like I've been on top of my mornings, and I get back to the house and I feel great. And I'm wondering, through all of that, like is the rest of, like, are my kids just floundering in like whatever they do, like waking up, getting on a TV, getting on a screen, not setting an example or not forcing them to do anything? It's like when I'm 9 plus, maybe even 10 plus, I'm like, how do I get my family to join me on this cloud? Because I'm feeling awesome. And I don't think that's really, because like Kristen has to work. She has to, like this week in particular, she was working pretty much from like 8 to 4 every single day at home. So like not able to participate with us. But it's like if I'm doing things around the house, it's like I'm not, like the days where I'm not including the kids, like sometimes I feel guilty that like I wasn't able to get them onto the morning train, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's when you were saying that, I was like, is this gonna be my kid's memory? Is this like is this gonna be their summer memory of them being on an iPad or like watching TV sometimes? Yeah, there's so many other things. Like Lauren's better at planning, um, by far than me. But because she's better with the execution as well. But it is something I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Well, those are like, no, they're definitely having memories. They're happy. And I mean, you have to, I think it's important to ask them too. But like sometimes when we ask our kids, like they don't really know. They don't really know what they don't know. And so it's like you want to give them, here's one thing I tried doing recently, and I'm curious how it's going to happen. And it could just backfire on me. But I've been trying to get, so I'm already at the gym early in the morning, like early before anyone gets up, because I don't want to hang around the apartment and be the only one that's awake, right? So I'll just hang out there longer until I know someone's up, maybe. And then I recently told Lauren, I was like, you know, I'd really love if Sloan got up and if she maybe came and met me at the gym. Like she could be the one to like tell me everyone's up when everyone else is going on, because it's like 4 blocks away. So like a kid walking through Brooklyn on their own, like early in the morning, is like a little bit scary. But we recently did it. We did it. We did it yesterday. Right, today's Saturday. Yesterday's Friday. So we did it yesterday. You know, we set some ground rules, and she walked all the way to the gym, and she was really excited. And
Wow.
so I'm hoping that that is like, instead of telling my kid like get active, we have to do this, and your body needs to be stronger. I'm like, hey, can you just come meet me? And like we got like a croissant after, because that's like her thing that she likes to do. So I'm trying to and hoping that it's something. It's like if 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 I'm already struggling trying to do more and then trying to make more memories for my kids, like how can I pull them into what I'm already doing? Which then feels selfish, but um I don't know. It's like my one thing right now that I've been like, okay, I think this can make me feel fulfilled. So
That's really cool. Walking 4 blocks in Brooklyn, right?
and there's some sketchy people that like walk around early in the morning over here. So
I mean, I don't think I would let my kids walk 4 blocks, but you know, whatever. I'm just kidding. They would.
Yeah.
They,
they
but
would.
but but if
And
it involved walking, I don't know that they would do it. So
well,
Yeah.
maybe if it was like a croissant after or a treat of some sort, which we don't want to miss
yeah,
the habit, but
Croissant.
there's nothing.
Ketchup.
There's nothing within 4 blocks of us but houses. It's
Yeah.
pretty
we
well, they
crazy.
need to
have
teach
houses.
them to drive.
We're definitely in a suburb, which I had never experienced, but yeah, it's something else.
Did you ever hear the comedian who was talking about parents who like overthink these things? And he was saying something like, he was like talking about a mom, and he was like, "Yeah, my mom like used to like worry like, okay, we're doing this. I just don't know if it's enough, and I don't know if they're happy. Like, are they really enjoying this? I think we have to do more." And he's like, and then like you just see parents like overreacting, and then yeah.
And then
Damn
and
dogs.
then
Um, and then he was like, and then he like brought himself into his kid mind, and he's like, I just remember there being snacks. I was just happy there were snacks. So he
Yeah.
was like, all right, okay, maybe we're overthinking this a little bit. Maybe we can just make sure that we know that they know that parents love them and they're there and they're cared for. So
It really is.
I
It
think went
really
off
is
of
that simple. And I think that's a lot of what we're doing here is like we are overthinking things, but like that's just the way like our minds are. Like everybody's mind is nowadays, and so this just becomes a place where we can overthink things together, say it out loud, bounce ideas, help each other, so that we're not just so that we're not going downstairs or upstairs and spinning out of control in our brain quietly while we're supposed to be parenting, right? This is like getting those, like how you wake up early and you get that energy out by going to the gym so that you're just in a better place when the kids wake up and you're hanging out with them. This is like a mental exercise. We're getting all these weird thoughts, feelings, and emotions out in a safe place. And then we don't have to be, for me, I don't have to be in my brain thinking about these things later when my kids are home and we're hanging out. Brian's muted.
am I muted? No.
Nope, you're good.
I'm sorry. I am trying to get for today. I'm trying to get one more person to join us to make this a 4-up screen. But Dom, I'm realigning myself with the conversation here. Are you talking about like getting the first half of the day going, so the second half of the day you're not rushing to get your kids in?
No, I was talking about how what Ryan said, where how he was saying like overthink things, and then our on our kids' end, like we're thinking about all these things, and then like on our kids' ends, they're just like, is there snacks? So it's like, what are we doing it for? Like we're thinking about all these things, planning all these things, trying to figure out all these things, trying to make sure that we're talking to them the right way, trying to teach them habits, trying to do all this stuff in this book. But on their end, they're just like, am I safe? Am I happy? Do I have my things? And most importantly, what's the level of snackitude in my pantry? Um, and what I was getting at is if I didn't have this show, if I didn't have this time, if I didn't have this like community, these friends, these people, um, a lot of these thoughts that we normally talk about would be stuck in my brain, and I'd be thinking about them throughout the course of the day, versus good morning, Savvy,
What's
Good
up,
morning.
Savvy?
versus being able to get them out, throw them out on the page, throw them out on the screen, throw them out to you guys, like you in the chat, throw them out like Savvy's doing. And then my mind is just a little clearer, a little focused, and then I can just go be, like be a dad, just go be in the moment.
Yeah. That is what we refer to, Dom, in the education world as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Safety is
Okay.
number one. If kids don't feel safe, they're not going to worry
so
about
Yeah.
sorry.
If they haven't
Hi, Ryan.
eaten, they're not going to be safe, and then they're not going to learn. So, good reference here.
Jason, you know what I learned recently?
What's that?
Just above 14% of the millionaires in the United States are teachers or were teachers.
14 million.
No. 40% of
40%
the millionaires.
were involved in education somehow.
Specifically teachers, like teachers that are known to have a lower salary sometimes, like just knowing teachers are underpaid just across the board.
So they taught, realized that they're not getting paid enough, and then went and got more money.
Nope. You know what it was? Most teachers are really good just because of like having money get put away, and then just letting it grow over time. And
yeah. Well,
so most teachers,
we are kind of forced into that with pensions. So I can't see
yeah,
it.
totally. And
Um,
so it was an interesting conversation I was listening to. A little bit of an aside, I just wanted to bring up.
No, it's a great point. But I want to say hi to Savvy because this is the first time that we're meeting face to face. So
It is.
yeah, so really nice to. I think I listened. I mentioned I was jumping into some old episodes, or Ryan was doing some longer form interviews. I think it was yours that I listened to as well, along with Ron. But
That was such a good one.
yeah, but good morning and
Good
also,
morning. Ryan, I need more episodes of that. Those interviews were great. Or any of you who plan on wanting to do it at some point in your just boring, dull, busy lives, right? No, I saw your call for and I figured, well, why not? I have grown so much as a parent. Like, I feel like even more so over the last couple of years, but I had this huge block and it was fear. I was so afraid that I would ruin my children with my own trauma and my own insecurities. And I realized by allowing that fear to dominate how I was parenting, I was actually doing the very thing I was so afraid of. And so, I think that first of all, I think we can all agree that when it comes to parenting, no no parent is parenting the same way for even just their own children within their own household, let alone uh different parents to different children, right? Like every child is different, and so every child is parented different. There's consistencies to a degree, but for the most part there is absolutely positively going to be differences from one to the next and how they take things. One of the biggest things I think for this tech conversation is always really interesting to me because I've seen the no tech parents who want their kids outdoors and they give them all these activities and they plan every second of the day and it's amazing. And then I've also seen no tech parents who they basically don't allow any type of technology or entertainment for extended period of time, but they also don't believe in playing with their children or they think their children should figure it out on their own. Which is really hard to see because the isolation in that, especially for a child who just wants to play, is a really hard thing to watch. But Ryan, I think you nailed it on the head when you talked about how we can get our kids to do things by rephrasing it in a way that it makes it feel like they're being helpful, useful. And then I mean, I do it with Ella all the time. I do it with my son Wyatt all the time. Giving them a choice in the matter and an understanding that it's something important to me that I need help with, that it would make my life easier or it would bring me joy to have the opportunity to be with them in that moment to do something, even if it's a mundane thing. I have found that, sorry, I'm like one eye on admin abuse for Grow Garden. I know Dom is too, but I think the one consistency is like we have to always remember the fact that kids, I think this comes from experience to a degree as well. Like we don't turn 18 and suddenly all of our brain cells are adult developed, right? Like it's not some magic stroke of midnight on our 18th birthday.
no,
And then we have,
not till 25, I think.
yeah, 25 is when that. Oh, that's right. But I thought it wasn't a specific age. It was when you first get that first pain in your knee. That was like the little ding dong or a lower back. First lower back.
I think it's like mid-20s for women and then like late 40s for men.
Yeah, I think I'm about to hit it.
Kids
I'm
smart
almost
enough.
5.
We're really close.
I'm almost there. Savvy, I'm really interested in what you first said, and I think I think Ryan opened me up to this thought about and like some of the readings that we hit is like how like traumas kind of affect how you parent. And like we've had a few people on, and I remember I'm not remembering the gentleman's name that jumped on, I think earlier in the week, where he wasn't sure if he wanted to be a dad because he was afraid of ruining his kid, right? And how many kids do you have again, Savvy?
2.
2. Yeah, and I absolutely agree about, and I'm sure we all do, that like you parent each kid differently because each kid has different needs. Maybe expectations are the same, you know, like there's some form of similarity there. And I'm assuming from what you're saying is that you may have been more concerned about that trauma parenting with your first rather than your second. Like, because
Oh,
like
yeah.
you get your first, it's like, okay, I can do this. Then you have your second, it's like you're probably a little bit more confident. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I've had these conversations. It's something that I ask myself all the time. I think it was Dom who said the fact that, oh, Travis Kelsey's in Grow Garden.
What?
Oh, yeah, he's a special guest today.
Pause. Let's regroup and Grow Garden.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Sorry. Okay, you guys are shading on it, but here we
Look,
are.
guys, look, I'll show you guys. This is Girl Garden. I'm playing it in the background. That's Travis Kelce back there. We're in a
Here.
football stadium.
How many millions of people are on that feed right now? Is this like a thing that's supposed to be? Was this scheduled?
It was scheduled. So every Saturday, they run an update. This is the admin, we call him, but this is the person who created the game. And so every Saturday he comes in here and he just kind of messes around. So he like texts, so you can see like some words that he's texting right there. He talks to us, and right now he looks like he's interviewing Travis Kelsey. So Travis Kelsey is in here. Just always remember to be yourself and have fun with it. Wow, that's great advice. Travis, what's your favorite admin abuse? So yeah, this game is a lot of people are in it. Right now, and this is my own private server. I have Savvy in here, Spalding's mom, Ian Kowski, and my daughter Bailey. So like we're all playing together. We all have our farms. So if you look right here, there are 5 farms. We're growing our gardens, and right now we're watching Travis Kelsey.
Wait,
Whose garden is completely empty?
That's the 6th. There's for some reason they have 6 gardens on the thing, but they don't allow 6 people. It's really weird. No one knows why. It's
It's like hot
just
dogs and hot dog buns.
that's just the way it is. They just left some. Travis is dancing.
oh, he's about to run his
Holy
own
shit.
admin abuse. It's
That was
called Route
scary.
Runner.
Okay. He's
So-
Wait,
running
hold on.
around.
When
in
you
a
guys say
tornado.
admin abuse, it sounds negative, but it sounds like now you're talking about it in a positive way.
Yeah, so the admin is this guy, this monkey guy, Jandel. And so when he comes in on Saturday, he does a thing called admin abuse, which is where he just like forces these little like upgrades into the game. So right now, Travis Kelsey is doing some really weird stuff. The game basically like has like random algorithms that run like these little upgrades, like put more fruits in stock that you can buy. And when the admin comes in, he'll sit here and push the very, very good stuff, and he'll say, okay, now this is available, like when it's really not supposed to be. So that's what we call admin abuse.
This looks like something that I've heard you guys
It's
talk about.
it's
That
pretty
I would
wild.
completely get lost. I would either lead to divorce or complete financial ruin because I would
Dude,
get too involved.
I had to because Saturday's so big and I knew this was going to happen, but I had to take myself out of the game. Um, 2 days ago, I told Savvy and all the people in the chat, I'm like, I'm not playing for 2 days. I'm not going to play till Saturday because I'm way behind at work. This thing is like eating my time up. I like will play it in the middle of the day in between meetings, and I really have like this bid to do, and I have like this other set of plans to come out. Like it was yeah, it was pretty crazy, like my addiction to it. And video games are a thing that I get addicted to, like 100% my entire life.
Yeah. That's definitely, that is my main vice for sure. I did just text both of my girls. I don't know if they're up, but I texted them that Travis Kelce's on Grow Garden.
Yeah, so
We'll
like
see what
that, and that's
happens.
the other funny part. Like there are all these little like key indicators that I know that I'm becoming addicted to it, right? Like my kids started playing this game and I started playing with them, but they don't really play it anymore. But I still do.
Right. So my kids still play, and it is something that we do together. But I will say this. So my kids got me into this, and it was like the first Roblox game I actually enjoyed playing. Because Ella likes to play games, especially in Roblox. There's like RP games where you like take on characteristics, or you it's basically like this imagination world, but with everything you could possibly want, and so she really likes like Brookhaven, which is a role-playing game where it's basically the modern version of The Sims, right? And so it's one of those things where I wanted to have an opportunity to kind of delve a little bit into their world of video games and online play, to see like how it was. And it's actually turned into something really cool where my husband, myself, and our daughter, our son's played with us once, but he basically carried the team because we are awful. So he won't do that again. But we were playing this like survival game. And so we'll play like one match every night before bed together as a family. And so it creates this like game time where we're working together, we're talking to each other. And even though we're not staring each other in the face, we're playing together. And it kind of creates like this opportunity for us as a family to do something. It's like I mean, it's the same thing with a board game, right? Like if you're playing a board game with your family, it's not an electronic device. Okay. But it is something where, I mean, who really pays attention to the family while you're in the board game, right? Like, I don't know about you, but if I'm playing Catan or Monopoly, I am focused. So I'm not staring my kids in the face and asking them about their day during game night. So it's like it's this opportunity to take a little bit of time together. I will say it's definitely something that I've started doing. It's given me like something better than just kind of getting lost in my own anxiety. So I totally understand why my family does it, because it's something that kind of takes me out of my own headspace sometimes, especially if there's a lot going on and I'm overly stressed. It'll keep me from like spiraling into like all the thousands of possibilities of what's wrong and what could go wrong and what will continue to go wrong. And it's just having fun doing something that requires little energy, and um it gives us time. It gives us time together to laugh. And I mean, like there's a joke that we should keep bandages around the house because one of the survival game we play, Ella is always going after things that she is ill prepared to go after, and so we end up having to revive her like 10 times. But it's just kind of like a funny thing that we talk about even outside of the game. We have a conversation. I've had more conversations with my teenage son since I started playing these games on Roblox with him and my daughter than I had had over the last year. Not that we don't have conversations, he still talks to me about a lot of stuff, but um a lot more. He's very much a teenager, right? So it's very much like he's in his own headspace. He's doing his own things. He wants to spend time with his friends. He's living his own life doing it. And so, there's kind of that separation from childhood to teenage years where they're really like their own person and they are living their own life. But
I love this, Sadie. I can say something because I really love this idea that it's a way that you guys have connected in the digital space. Because
Mhm.
like one of my biggest fears that we're kind of like stepping in at the moment is like the digital space and social media and stuff like that with my oldest daughter. And so I'm like, how can I remain like, I try not to like restrict too many things or say no to anything, but it sounds like it's a cool thing to kind of connect on. I don't know if I would do it this way, but I do like the idea that it is on Roblox. And every single day I get confused between Roblox and Minecraft every single day.
Yeah.
But just, I do know the difference, but it's like when I'm saying it, it's like, wait, but they both sound alike. But I do like the idea that it does connect in a world that I think a lot of parents, like, there was so much conversation around like, can we let our daughter onto Roblox? Because if we do, it's just like, she's going to be contacted by 1,000 pedophiles all at one time. And all of a sudden we have to say no, and she can't go on it and it's wrong. And so the idea that there is that connection right there. And it's a great point about like, you know, even in a board game, you know, you're not exactly speaking directly to them. And so you're not going to do it in this kind of way either. The point I wanted to get to was that, you know, if this was called something like digital space connection with kids, whatever it is, what else is like that, right? And I think kind of like me, I'm probably going to try and remain aware of other things like that, if it's a game or something else, or, you know, whatever it is. So I would love to, you know, if anyone else has like an idea that's along with that, 'cause I think it's a great idea, Savvy, or a great mindset around it. I want to hear them. I want to hear more ideas that way, because I want to bring them into our life right now. So
are you asking about like, so like Savvy's point is she met her kids where they're at in Grow Garden specifically, which is something that I think Ryan, I think it was Ryan, it was your episode with Ron. I think you guys dove into that a bit, which I think that's a great point to keep in mind always. Fortunately or unfortunately, specifically right now in 2025, digital is where we would probably best meet our kids to show interest in what they're doing, as opposed of like me trying to drag my kids into some kind of semi-regular fitness routine, right? I cannot think of anything else right now that would be as effective as those digital spaces, because if you listen to your kids while they're on this, especially if you have multiple kids, it's like their entire personality is in there. You know, it's like they're interacting with their friends, they're interacting with each other, and they're meeting new people, for better or for worse. Like that's how we operate the best, is when we're doing those things. So if you try to bridge that gap and you reach over and make that bridge and try to, you know, shoehorn yourself into their life instead of trying to like bring them into your world, you would definitely that's definitely the most effective way to do it. I cannot think of anything better at this particular moment, unless it's like,
I got one that was even before this moment, which is now we know as there's like evil behind it. And I guess even before this, I would say this is that, especially within games, for some reason, something that spans generations and everyone gets excited about, and they're like, let's do this together, is playing Mario Kart. But number two, Pokemon Go was definitely something where you saw all ages playing Pokemon Go. Now we understand what the purpose of Pokemon Go really was, and it's like ridiculous. And it's smart, by the way.
I'm pretty sure it was sponsored by Fitbit.
No, it was sponsored. It wasn't even sponsored. It was built by a geolocation company. I'm going to say that wrong. But the company basically wanted to be able to understand like how to locate or get pictures of certain spaces around the world. And so like if there was a building that they were like, we don't know what's in there, they would basically put like a Pokemon gym in, and they would get people to go in and then start to take pictures. And now this company has all of this geolocation information to say, hey, I know exactly what all these places look like. What's up?
That sounds nefarious.
That is evil.
Pokemon Go
it's ridiculous.
Was another game. Pokemon Go was another game that I was heavily addicted to and lost like many hours of work. Like I would just leave in the middle of the workday and chase little monsters like around. But it definitely was something that, again, just like Grow a Garden, was a huge connection point for me and my kids, because it started, we all played it. We would go to these. There was one place that was it was in Long Beach, where for some reason there was just this one area where there were three Pokestops where you could stand in the middle of them. You could triangulate and you could hit all three of them just over and over again. And people would put the little, I forget what it is, the things that made the Pokemon come to you there, and there'd be at one point during like little events like this Grow a Garden, I'd be standing in a space, I don't know, maybe a 100-foot square, 100 by 100, and there'd be 500 people shoulder to shoulder, like just harvesting Pokemon. And I just remember like taking to my kids that, and it's like we're talking like 8 o'clock to midnight. There'd just be like 500 people shoulder to shoulder in a open park, like it wasn't anything. And you want to talk about like stranger danger situations, like, but it was a version of community. It was one of my first experiences with like a community. They were all nice people. Like some people brought chairs, some people brought snacks. Like it was cool. And that was what that brought up in me. And then I took it a little too far, and I started playing all the time, you know, when I was supposed to be working.
And then before that were you brought up to mind what were those pop-up dances, those pop-up dance routines that people do in weird spots?
Oh, I never did anything like that. Are you talking about
I mean, no, I didn't do
flash
it. But
mobs?
like flash mobs. I remember that was a thing for a hot second that seemed to bring people together. Um,
Yeah.
it's like they were organized online, bunch of people that maybe didn't know each other. Uh,
Yep.
but that was cool for a second. I think that was before COVID, probably.
This is the most admin abuse thing I've ever seen in this game. I think
Yeah,
it's
for
be I think he's vibing hard with Travis Kelce. They've never done this, so this is the first time he's had like a second person, like, and he's literally interviewing Travis Kelce right now and talking to him, and I think Travis has his finger on the button too, because they're just like freaking doing stuff right now. Like I can't keep up, and I know Savvy can't either.
mm-mm.
Um, but it's cool. He's like asking him about his first touchdown. He's asking him what his favorite fruit is. He's asking him like, if you could live off of one, fruit out for the rest of your life, what would it be? Or what fruit do you hate the most? Like it's really cool. I think the owner of the game just found something very unique that he's probably going to try to bring to the table. And what's funny is like we in the Grow a Garden VFam chat have already like dropped the hint to like our friend Corso, be like, dude, you want to get Gary V up here. Like you want to get Gary V in this. Like, and doing this right here, like having the Jandale guy interview him,
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool.
Well, and here's the other one too, is like, could you imagine a fearless fairy egg, or
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
like blooms into a fairy flower? I told them this in the chat because that's where my mind.
Connecting the
Oh,
V friends into it.
we just got a football pet from him.
How do you get it?
They just gave it to. Oh my god, it's a little football with the face. Look.
Oh man,
A little football with a
the girls
face.
are not on this right now. I texted them both.
Well, the thing is like I keep I keep messaging my daughter Bailey in the chat, and I keep telling her to wake up her sister, her brother, and her cousin, because they're and her uncle. Like, so all my kids play it. My brother-in-law plays it. My father-in-law used to play it, and my nephew. So yeah, it's none of them are awake. I think it's just Bailey, and I told her a number of times to freaking wake them up, and I know she didn't. So a little turd. So they're because they're all gonna wake up and hear about all this stuff that happened.
Yeah.
That we all yeah, and I'm gonna not live that. I mean, I can't wake them up, but I usually do on Saturdays. I'll usually do the daily dad if I do it, hit the gym, and then go upstairs and wake Brooklyn and Bailey up.
What if you jump into their bed with your device and show them
Well, they're in
what's
Tahoe.
oh right.
Exactly.
I forgot. I have to get off in a few minutes because my dogs are tearing up this place and I got to get them outside. And then reorganize my morning because I think this is the longest we've been on in the morning.
An hour
I'm
25, man.
so bad about that. Every time I come on to something, we end up being on forever. I'm like the time guzzler.
No,
Uh,
I mean we were playing around with the idea of doing like a long form thing every now and then, just like to have more like we've been liking the having people up, you guys know I love speaking of the like the and bag movement of just like
Oh,
having the community up and doing like a chat session of more people like getting we always like getting other people's perspectives, and it's hard sometimes when you're chatting and you're writing a big sentence, but then you don't have the chance to explain or do anything more. So it is fun having more, and that's obviously going to be a little easier for some of us on the weekends than it is going to be during the week. If we were
yeah.
to do an hour 26 on a weekday, I would literally have to then change my clothes and go right to work. So it just yeah.
I would have to
Makes-
find a new career if we did this every day.
If I could, I just want to say one thing, which was that both Turners and UDOM have like kind of nailed it on the head with perspective. I think the biggest takeaway when we talk about like habits, right? We have to remember that yes, habits are important. They create structure, they create value, they build skills, like conviction, which replaces drive sometimes when you're just not feeling it. And I think that it's super important. But I think that where people go wrong the most, whether it's in parenting or in relationships or in life, is that they feel like habits have to be so rigid that the world falls away if you break one or if you veer off of it. And I think that meeting your kids where they are, the same as you would with your spouse or your family or anyone else, it does have a return. My kids like to do things I like to do more now as I've ventured into their spaces and met them where they are. They're meeting me where I am too. And
Hmm.
so I find that, um, it really opens up pathways for both roads. And I think that like is hugely important in any relationship, no matter what the type of relationship, meeting someone where they are and taking that first step, if it's a technological thing or a physical thing or an activity thing, um, because and that's going to change. The interests change, change, we all grow. But just having that understanding that putting in the effort first often leads to effort being put in, right? So at least in my experience, it could be something else for somebody else, but
Yeah. And what's no, sorry, wrong person because I was reading the chat. Savvy. And Ryan, I turned your mic off because I was getting I think we were getting some feedback there. But jump on in. Sorry. Savvy, what is a habit that you feel like you've been kind of nailing? Either small habit or big habit. I think sharing what it is we do, I think that is valuable. What's something like you shared your grow garden with your kids? I think that's a great habit to meet them halfway. What's something like maybe just personal habit that you do that maybe other people aren't aware of that you feel like adds a net positive to your life?
So I I'm a I've never been the kind of person who had a whole lot of interest in like extra things to make myself feel good or be healthy, especially if it was something just for me. Um, but with a lot of things that have happened as of late, I've felt a little less like myself. And I wanted to find something that would not only make me feel better about myself, I don't put a lot of stock necessarily in appearances, but I was feeling like I looked in the mirror and I didn't really recognize who I was. And so something I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, a friend of mine took me to get a facial to because she saw how just overwhelmed and stressed I was. And so while I was at the spa, I picked up some things that the esthetician recommended. And I've been working on setting aside 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to actually, like, I'm 37. I'm just now like, okay, I have a skincare routine. Before it was like soap in the shower, right? And I really didn't have time for much else, but I'm trying to make that time. So I think it's less of the specific, but what I've learned from it, which is, I mean, the actual thing is like having a skincare routine, which I've never done before. But the point of it is that 10 minutes a day that it takes me to complete that, it doesn't take away from anything else I'm able to do in the day. And it makes me feel really good. It gives me like a recharge that I need every day, not just when I become so overwhelmed I can't, you know, breathe. And so I think the big takeaway is like with a habit, maybe consider developing a habit that is 10 minutes of joy. If it's playing a video game or if it's reading a book, if it's doing a puzzle or just watching a TV show or whatever, give yourself that 10 minutes twice a day, in the morning, at night. Start and end your day doing something that makes you happy, that brings you joy, that fills you. Because it's made a huge difference for me and just everything over the last few weeks, couple months that have just been one thing after another that has been really hard. Um, but yeah, so that's, I mean, long, short story long. Um, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you also reminded me that really, I think the point of our habits is I'm hesitant to use the word happiness, but maybe more like a centering activity. Um,
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment, yeah. And yeah, all it does is like 10 minutes is like perfect. Like if I would say to somebody who maybe is having a hard time with habits, like just starting with 10 minutes, that's great. Like as you're talking, I'm thinking I'm thinking about my morning routine and it's like, am I fulfilled? Yes. Am I happier? No. Like my body has felt like it's worked. But I'm like, most of the time when I'm doing these habits, usually what's in mind is getting these done before I have to get back to the house and take care of like the kids and the dogs and get all them going, not necessarily for fulfillment. So I am fine. Thank you for that because that is kind of that does give me a little bit of more focus on like what it is, what it's doing for me instead of like how it fits into the bigger picture of the day. Um, Facials. My Kristen goes for one once in a while. I've heard it's relaxing. Uh,
Oh, so relaxing. They do your shoulders and your neck and stuff too. It's not just your face. It's like the whole chest to upper area. And so you get like this because they're certified most of the time estheticians who do facials and stuff. They're certified um masseuse or physical therapy people too. And so they give you like this massage on your shoulders and your neck. And honestly, it's just such a relaxing we carry a lot of tension and anxiety when we have stressors in our jaws, in our faces, and our temples. And
Mhm.
so it truly is like this relaxing experience.
We have, I'm saying hi to somebody who said hi to us. That's not bad.
Oh,
Hey buddy, how's it going? Welcome.
I'm so glad he's in here because
I don't know who that is.
so he's a V friend. He recently had he does social media and stuff, and he recently had his social media stolen like right in front of him. It was he got hacked, and I mean that was really hard. And they drained his money out of his social accounts, which was a good clip for him. And so it was just like a really tough thing. And one of the recommendations was to come in on VDADS and, you know, sit in, participate when he was ready in conversations, especially because one of his biggest concerns in regards to that was how it was going to affect his kids. And so I'm glad to see that he took that advice and he's here.
Awesome. It's always nice seeing new names jump up.
Mhm.
Yeah, just on that real quick because I noticed he's over on X. So
And we
Twitch is
got
where the party's at, sir.
Deepest is back.
No,
Hey, Deepest.
no problem having you watch over on X, but come over and find your way over to Twitch. That's where we usually hang out and more of the chat goes off. I know it's a little easier to comment and text in the Twitch channel while watching versus Twitter. I don't think Twitter's made that easy yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be nice if like all the chat functions were connected so everybody sees everybody. Deepest, welcome back. I hope you're doing well with your journey. Just to catch up on him, I know he was kind of going through a little bit of a breakup. We've all been there. I'm kind of thinking. I know he's a bit younger, in his 20s, and I remember deleted the messages yesterday. 200. What is 18? So yeah, that's a tough age for a breakup, especially when
Seems like he deleted the chat between him and his ex. Is
Oh,
what he's saying.
Okay, good. That's where that's a great place to start habits. I remember my first big breakup. Running is what I took up, and I got really good at it. And I probably could have, if I had the frame of mind, I'm sure I could have like developed others too. Got Iron Man start. We got some new people jumping in.
I think that might be Dad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the other fun part was when you get people to transition to Twitch, you get to see what their Twitch name is. It's all every now and then it's a little different.
Yeah.
Kind of cracks me up.
Yeah. Screenshotting the memories, holding on to the good ones. Yeah, that's good. It's okay to hang on to the good stuff. Bring that with you into whatever your next step is, for sure.
If I could, I just want to share, because I'd love to bring this in at some point. When I was younger, I was a long time dater. I needed to have a girlfriend. I would hold on to a girlfriend for years despite any challenges that were going on, or I wasn't happy because I thought I needed that. And there were other reasons I would be doing it too that I'm aware of now. But you know, I think that with my girls getting older and then, you know, needing to find something and someone to complete them, I think is a very interesting topic in itself, where I think that when you talk about completing yourself, and I know it sounds so cliche, but you're not going to find it in somebody else. And I think that at 18, I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that at 16. I wish I knew that at 14. But it's something that I do fear that my girls will end up needing. And this isn't like daddy problem kind of stuff, but it's just for anybody, like girls, guys, whatever it is. So I just want to say that I think I heard about a conversation with this. I don't know and much of the details, but Deepest, you're ahead of the curve right now at 18 to understand how to say no, let go of some memories, and also understand that they can still remain meaningful and something special to you. But turning back to them is not going to be your answer, and it's hard. So anyway, I would love to have that conversation at some point about relationships and what we think we need in them, or what younger kids maybe think they need in them. So
Yeah.
shit.
One thing on that. So like, I'm like my bad social media habit was Reddit. And like that was probably like my biggest time suck. And I would get in my feed, I think because like I'm in that age, I would get served like these over 40 threads, whether it's men or women. And some of those questions were from like divorced people that are trying to get into new relationships, which is a really great since deepest, you know, you're 18 now, and how that changes when you get into 40s. So it's like, and I would dive into these because like I wasn't participating at all, just reading the comments of like the struggles of dating in 40s, which doesn't sound pleasant at all. But a lot of the questions, or a lot of the statements were, when you're in 40s and you are developed and you have your likes and you have your dislikes and you find out that you like your own time, it's like one of the challenges to finding somebody is finding somebody that makes your valuable time better. You know, like ideally that's why we stay married, is because the people that we're with enhance our time. You know, like, yes, you'll get into arguments and there's struggles, but overall it's a net positive in your life. And it's, you know, I think it's a really interesting thought experiment. And me and Kristen, we kind of hit on this last week, actually. We were at a party and we were kind of talking about that. It's like, we were talking, we had a discussion of like, hey, if we were divorced, what would you look for in a partner? And I mean, fortunately, what we said mostly aligned with both of us still, you know, like it wasn't anything different. Like, you know, I just really wish that I was with a taller guy, which Kristen didn't say, which was good because we're almost the same height. So that's good. Like that was a good kind of check up on like what we're looking for. Like I didn't say that I was looking for a brunette, or I didn't look for like somebody who was, you know, had a different mindset. But it's like because I have friends that are divorced, and I'm sure we all do. And sometimes they'll share their stories, and it's like, yeah, like the search for somebody who makes your life better when you have your routines and your habits, like that's hard. You know, I could imagine that being really difficult. So, you know, I'm thankful I'm not there, but I think it's good to kind of think about how you fit people into the daily, whether it's a romantic partner or even new friends. You know, like finding new friends as a 40-year-old, like that's something that's come up, about creating groups that you can hang out with. We've briefly hit on like and I don't necessarily believe in it, maybe a little bit, but like, you know, the whole idea of like the male loneliness epidemic, like how like people don't know how to make friends anymore. You know, fortunately, I feel like I am good at that, and I am good at meeting new people. And like this Daily Dads things that we do has definitely helped that, just by like talking about deeper than surface level things, for sure. And I totally forget where I was going with this entire point, but
well, and I think one thing to remember when it comes to whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, anything, you don't have to lose yourself to become the best version of whatever you are in that relationship. And when you start going, well, you know, that's not that big of a deal to me, I can change that, like I'll let go of that, then that leads to more and more and more. and whether it's as a parent, as a partner, um, anything, you recognize that part of yourself before it gets to the point where you don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah. That's I think that's something that I felt in that first breakup for sure, is like you tie up so much of yourself in that relationship that once it ends, it's like, well, who the F am I?
Mhm.
And I don't know if Dom, you clicked on this yet. So like one thing Deepest is bringing up is like, at your 18 version of yourself right now, like, yeah, you probably did find somebody that was, that checked all those boxes for sure. But you're also going through like the next 7 years of gigantic changes, and who you are looking for or what you're looking for in a person is also going to change. And I would say like the best thing you can do is to get your own boxes checked in that time. So when you do meet somebody, they add to that. You're not switching those check boxes back and forth to make them fit into a relationship. It should be easy, or mostly easy, because, as soon as you add somebody else to something, there are going to be some tough spots for sure.
Jason, I was thinking the same. I wish someone had told me that no one else besides yourself should check your box. You need to check all of your boxes before you can now allow someone else to share one of those. And that was something that I did not know. What I thought is that if I'm unhappy, that means that there's something else that someone else has for me. And it was something like, no, you got to. And again, it sounds so cliche, but it is something, and it's the truth that I really wish that I had. And not, I don't want to even say simple, but this doesn't even give enough credit to, I think, the damage, I will say, to what I did to myself by choosing to go down the path of always trying to remain in a relationship. And so I would not return back. I don't know. So this sounds so much of a directive, and I don't want it to sound that way, but like, I would not turn back into that relationship until you've checked your boxes. And now you can kind of share who you are with that person. And I don't think when you're younger, you can really understand that. I just don't. I don't think that you can know what that means. I don't think it makes sense to a younger person. So, and that I only feel that, and Jason, I don't know if you can say this because you're the one who said it. I'm just adding on to it. But no one could have told me that. No one could have said to me, go check your own boxes and be like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have listened to that advice.
Yeah.
It's like,
but I made that mistake.
Like when you're young and you click with that person, it's like, oh, this is great. I'm even kind of having a hard time kind of putting it into words of like what it actually means to be in a relationship when you're young, like in your late teens, early 20s. All you can say is like, it just feels good. Right. And like you have somebody that you can spend your garbage time with, and like nothing's hard. But it's also a time where like it's all your firsts, right? It's like your first kiss. It's like your first beyond the first kiss, without getting too R-rated, right? But like all those things, it's like those are all things that you end up bringing into like your next relationships, whether it's the things that you're looking for or the things that are your red flags. And even in marriage, like me and Kristen have been like, we've been married for about almost 15 years next year, 1 month after Dom's wife's birthday, which I can now use as a check mark. But it's like, even in marriage, I would say that it's important to keep your set of boxes and make sure that they're checked instead of relying on somebody to check them for you. And I think that goes for both partners. Some of the things we've talked about in the past is like, is how we react to things, or it's like you're looking for like some kind of affirmation for things, and like, yeah, those are all important. Those are all those kind of things do go into a healthy marriage, and there's things that you will want to rely on a partner for. But like, you definitely need that structure of your own check boxes, whether it's like, you know, your own habits, or how you conduct your day, or how you parent. It's like you need your own set so you don't lose yourself as well. And you know, if those boxes become unchecked for whatever reason, then you have your, I don't know, reasoning of moving on, whether it's like just dating somebody that you're just started seeing, or a marriage, you know, or even friendships.
I have kids fighting, so I have to go after I say this, but it makes me think, or I hope, that when people, or when a dad would say no dating until a certain age, like, I think where my mind always goes is something sexual, right? Or at least it did when I was younger. But I think what I hope is that maybe now, I'm like, okay, maybe they weren't saying it really just because of that, and it was more and more in line with like what we're talking about right now. Because if I told my daughters, I'd prefer you not to be dating someone now until you're older, I I would be coming from this place. And I don't know if they would get it. I think that they probably would think that it's going to be something again, that it's like that's more of like a sexual thing. I wouldn't want that. Anyway, I got to go
Well,
because
I
it's
think
going
you
to
just
flood
need the I
soon.
think you just need the second and third and fourth sentence after that. Instead of just saying no dating till you're 16, 17, be like, and this is the reason why, because you need to make sure that you know who you are, you check your boxes, everything that you guys have just been talking about is getting more comfortable with yourself before you bring someone else into your life and have these expectations that they're going to fill your cup for you, or that they're going to make your life that much better, or that like they're the reason you wake up in the morning is, or go to school. Like, you know, like I know I can see that a lot in high school, like in the events that I've gone to at high school. It's like when couples are there, it's just like all they do is they just find each other after class and they like walk together and all that stuff, and it's like that's not your reason for going to school. But a lot of these kids, I think that's what's happening to them, is it becomes their reason for doing stuff
Yeah,
instead of, like you said.
Don, you sound like you have like a pretty healthy attitude around Bailey, and like, I think it was like Bailey has a boyfriend.
Hmm. Yeah, our neighbor RJ.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I think that's good to be aware of it, and like,
Helps
even
when you know where they live.
also does help, you know, where you live, for
I
sure.
know that his parents are way more strict than we are, so that helps a lot. And then like I said, like I from what I've noticed from Bailey is that she very much like has a good idea of herself, and she has, you know, some good self-confidence. She's not, yeah, it looks like she's pretty solid. And then her relationship with her mom is really well, so they talk a lot, and I get to see and hear a lot of it. So, and I know because he's my neighbor and he watches our dog. I know enough about RJ, and I've interacted with him and his family, and I just, you know, I she's had other boyfriends that I didn't know, and it was a little harder for me, but those fizzled real quick. And because of the way that they fizzled and what I saw her doing, I could tell that she has a level of self-respect that she didn't allow anyone to disrespect her or waste her time. So it was just a very cool thing to see that she wasn't hanging on to something, or like over, you know, like over crushing, or being like the person in the relationship who, you know, is feels like she needs the other person. Like the second the boy lost interest or didn't respond to her or whatever, she was like, peace, I'm out, moving on. And that was just a really cool thing to see in that moment. And then again, like knowing enough about RJ, our neighbor, that he's a good kid, good head on his shoulders, like, you know, all the stuff that I know about him, I'm like, okay, like, you know, even if it doesn't work out, and like that's something that we have been like talking a little bit with her about, you know, like this is a slightly different relationship than the other ones. He's in your friend group. You guys are in swim together, and he's your neighbor. So, you know, if and when this doesn't work out, like you know, you guys should have that a little bit on your mind, and that's one of the reasons why they slowed down the entry point to dating, because they were very much friends for a long time, and we all could see that they liked each other, that there was something deeper there, but they were very hesitant about starting a relationship because of all the connection points that they had. And that was very mature of them and very smart of them, and to take it slow essentially.
Hmm.
So it's just been an impressive thing for me to sideline watch. And just knowing all of that and seeing all of that, it's like they're handling it well. Why would I try to do anything? Like why would I even try? Like they're getting to the point, both of them, where they're gonna be 18 and they're gonna live their own life. So if this is the start of them making their own choices, it's a pretty good start.
Yeah. Yeah, great point here. Iron Man start. That is, look at that jawline on that avatar. You could shave an iceberg with that jawline. Yeah, and Dom, I think you just hit on this. It's like at some point you got to trust that you parented right, and it sounds like that's one of those things where it's like if your kids are, thinking about all these angles before they jump into something, you did something right.
Yeah.
So good job.
100%.
We're almost at 2 hours. Let's just go all day. Let's just do a marathon Daily Dads today. Should do like a
I would love to, but I am on West Coast time and I have a showing at noon. So I've got to be out of this house at 11:30 with everybody in tow. And I need to do some tidy up before then, because goodness knows nothing stays clean with kids in the house.
Nope.
yeah. I got to get my day going too. We should do like a handoff day where we're just like hand off the episode to somebody new. So by the time that we end at night, it's just a completely different group of people.
I think for sure we're going to have to do some more of these long forms if we can. It's hard for me. Like this is a one-off. My family's out of the house, so I can do this. Might be sometime, but I definitely think we need to get Mr. Iron Man up here, because I unfortunately have been pretty distracted and I have not been able to read all this text, but he's been dropping a lot. I've been scrolling through some of them, so it's very good to get to know you, but we'd obviously like to get to know you better. So come back again. Monday through Friday are the for sure days. 5:30 a.m. Pacific time on Twitch. Of course you can come back. Sure, man.
Yeah,
Come on now.
even
Everybody's always welcome to come back.
I would love to have Deepest on. I think that'd be great, talking to somebody half my age and getting their perspective. I think that would make me feel younger. So consider it, Deepest.
I think that a conversation in regards to what we've learned in relationships at our age could be very beneficial for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I've got a million stories from my perspective, which I know would be different than your guys's, but man, I'm telling you, like, I wish I had known that I was enough back then before I changed in every relationship to try and be what I needed to, until I like cut off. But because I was always one of those where I would go full force, everything I had, and fall deeply madly. And then when I finally realized it was wrong, I just became cold and bitter in those moments. And it's like, it was such an awful way to, I can't regret too much, because I ended up where I am and I could not ask for a better partner in life in every way. And the lessons that I learned in relationships have brought me to where I am. Oh, speaking of my partner, hello, my love.
What's up?
I just tell him how cool you are.
Basically.
I kissed a lot of frogs before I found a prince. Gonna say hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But yeah, I think it is a really good topic to discuss because I think that we learn a lot of lessons in regards to who we are as people, who we want to be, and how to live through relationships that we've had.
Iron Man, you're right in the age that I think we're all kind of preparing for.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, would
Little
love
bit.
to. This would be, yeah, this is great. I think we should do this maybe once a month. We'll start with once a month, maybe, because yeah, this is definitely one off for me too. Savvy, it was awesome talking to you and listening to your story a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in.
You got Farsh and Chops.
I couldn't. I saw the look on your face when you put the link out. We'll see if we can get a for.
Yeah, I was just going for the. I was merely going for the symmetry of 4 in a screen, but I think
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that turned into a nice conversation. We're at 2 hours, folks. Thanks for staying with us. If you stayed with us this entire time, don't forget to jump in with us every morning, 6:30 to 7 Mountain Time, which is a real time. It really exists.
Barely. Yeah, have a great day. Have a good weekend. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you on Monday for sure.
Yeah. This
Later,
is
everybody.
Kira's awake. She played. Oh, she's in her underwear. Sorry, but she got onto the Travis Kelce episode.
You did?
Nice.
That was so fun.
So Dom and Savvy here, they
We play like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like too much.
If mine was awake, it's an hour before Mountain, but
Yeah, I just noticed my second daughter woke up and she jumped in, but I think she missed it. Poor
this
girl.
is the biggest I've seen Kira smile in the morning because I texted her about Grow Garden. We made a connection.
Nice.
We met each other where they're at.
well, you have got to give Dom her user. You can get her into the server, the VFam server. It's separate. It's not public, and Ella's in there.
I don't know that he's ready to give her a Twitter account.
Well, no, I mean not on the X.
Yeah.
Too
we
much.
can friend on
or
friend
so.
on Roblox if that's a thing. Yes.
Do you want Dom? You want to be friends with Dom and Savvy?
My daughters.
Roblox?
We could meet you up with my daughters.
Oh yeah,
Ella.
we got our tech teenage interview, which me and Dom are organizing.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
For maybe sometime next week before you leave for
When
home.
like I said, when my wife gets home, so sometime in the next 24 hours, I'm hoping to have that conversation with her.
Are you still on board?
Yeah.
Cool. It'll be this is the format right here. Okay. Now go put some pants on. Make yourself appropriate.
All right,
All right.
Cam.
See you guys. Have a great
Have a
day.
beautiful day.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.